everybody, my name is Cubits, and welcome to a mod compilation featuring my favorite survivalism mods. If you're looking for a little bit more challenge in your gameplay, or you want some extra mods to fill in the gaps between the survival mods that you already have, then this is the video for you. Just to clarify the content of this video, survivalism mods are mods that add gameplay features that revolve around keeping your character alive. This usually means managing extra stats and resources. Many of the mods in this video will increase difficulty. However, keep in mind that many of those mods have different options you can tweak in their respective mod menus. The mods in this video will focus primarily on the standard edition of Skyrim. However, if you're using the special edition, you can look at the bottom left corner of the screen when a mod is displayed to see if it's available for the special edition as well. As time goes on, some more of these mods may be added to the special edition, so keep an eye out for that. It's also important to point out that yes, all of these mods are totally compatible with each other. So with all of that information out of the way, let's get into the mod list. The first mod featured in this list is Campfire. This mod adds a framework of items and skills to provide the player with a camping system. This includes the ability to create campfires and place them nearly anywhere in the world. In addition, it gives you the ability to craft tents that are also placeable in the world. The camping tents vary in material and size. You can either craft leather tents for more rainy parts of the region, and fur tents for the snowier parts of the region. Some tents only have a single bedroll, while others offer you enough space for a few companions. Beyond just campfires and tents, you can also craft backpacks, cloaks, cooking pots, and other camping supplies. The mod also provides you with new perk trees that allow you to create better campsites, interact with wildlife in new ways, and plenty of other features that a wandering adventurer would appreciate. If your characters spend any time in the wilds of Skyrim, Campfire is a must-have mod. The next mod on this list actually requires the installation of Campfire to work properly. Frostfall provides an exposure system to properly simulate Skyrim's harsh climate. This means that if you travel into freezing areas on the map like the Pale, your character will begin to freeze over time. With the use of fur cloaks and campfires, however, this exposure to the elements can be reduced. In Frostfall, the climate really does mean something. If you allow your character to begin to freeze, your stats will begin to drop. This can affect your stamina, your movement speed, your health regeneration, and many other stats. If that wasn't enough of an incentive to stay warm, your character will freeze and fall unconscious if you neglect your exposure. By default, when this happens, you will be rescued and transported to the nearest inn. However, if you want the true difficulty offered in this mod, you can turn on the hardcore settings. This means your exposure will increase faster, and if you do freeze, your character will die, and you'll need to reload from your last save. If you're looking for a harsh survival experience, look no further because Frostfall has what you're looking for. iNeed is another mod based around managing additional stats, except this time, the needs that you need to manage are hunger, thirst, and the potential for disease. iNeed provides you with a UI to indicate your various needs, and additionally, you can enable auditory cues as well. For example, if your character is sleepy, they will give you a yawn to indicate that particular need. Just like Frostfall, if you neglect your needs, your various stats will begin to suffer. And just like Frostfall, you can enable the possibility of death. However, iNeed provides you with a helpful tool of creating a water barrel or a water keg where you can easily refill your water skins. And if you're in a city that has a well, you can gather water from there also. There are plenty of other details included in this mod. Buffs on a full stomach, visual effects if your character is drunk, and hotkeys for ease of use. With a clean-cut system and a variety of helpful features, iNeed is an excellent mod to install if you're looking for another survival feature. The next mod is one that goes great with the use of iNeed. Hunterborn is a fantastic mod if you're looking for a more involved way of collecting meat and hides from animals in the world. When you kill an animal, you have 3 options available to you: pick up, field dress, and manual loot. If you choose to pick up the carcass, you can carry it to another location. If you field dress it, it lets you skin the carcass for its pelt, butcher it for its meat, or gather alchemic ingredients. And just manually looting lets you use the quick vanilla looting system. That being said, choosing to field dress the animal gives you more resources like pelts, meat, and alchemic ingredients that wouldn't otherwise be available if you just used the vanilla system. Although this option takes more time, it is certainly worth it on a survivalist playthrough. The more more you field dress animals, the faster and more precise your character will get at it, adding an element of progression. Beyond just the hunting system, there are an absurd amount of features added by this mod. For example, the mod allows primitive cooking, meaning the ability to cook meat over any fire source without the use of equipment. This can be particularly helpful if you're in the middle of the wilderness and in a bit of a pinch. It also adds the ability to forage in the area around you for things like edible plants, animal bones, and pieces of wood. The chance of success in foraging depends on the environment around you and your level in the skill, so don't expect to find many materials as a beginner in the area around a place like Winterhold. With many, many more features, this mod is a terrific way to enhance the need-based experience in Skyrim. Hunterborn is perfect for a character that is a hardened survivalist. SkyTEST, Realistic Animals and Predators, is another mod that involves animals, but it's based more around the behavior of animals' AI. This mod makes exploration in the wilderness much more treacherous. Certain animals will be more aggressive while others less aggressive. One of the most impressive features about this mod is its food chain aspect. This feature makes animals interact differently towards each other depending on their species, a feature that didn't really exist in the vanilla game. In addition, animals will never fight to the death. They will flee if they are gravely injured. Some animals will fear fire, making the use of a torch much more advantageous. Predators will go out and hunt during specific times of the day, bears will hibernate in the winter, and pack animals like wolves will fight aggressively together. The amount of changes in this mod are very extensive. Ultimately, it creates more varied and realistic behavior of the animals in the game. In regards to difficulty, knockdowns for big animals are much more common, and many predators receive combat boosts. If you're looking for more realistic wildlife and a more dynamic yet challenging experience in the wilderness, SkyTEST is definitely for you. If you ever thought that it was too much of an advantage to be able to carry around 300 pounds of equipment with ease, Realism-Capacity is a perfect mod to add to your load order. This mod allows you 50 pounds of additional carry weight beyond the weapons and armor that you already have equipped. That means that this mod demands that you put more time into your resource management, making exploration more challenging with mods like iNeed, and this mod also gives you more of an incentive to craft backpacks with mods like Campfire. If you thought the ability to carry around 50 cabbages at all times was a little bit too easy, you'll definitely appreciate the changes and the extra challenge provided in this mod. For the next mod, we're going to focus specifically on one feature that it adds. Enhanced lighting in FX improves many aspects of the lighting in Skyrim, but the primary feature that is relevant to this video is that it makes nights darker and the interiors of dungeons and caves much less bright as well. This means that venturing underground or staying out in the wild after sunset is much more treacherous. If you install this mod, then keeping track of your torches becomes a priority, and the time of day is much more relevant to surviving. ELFX is a terrific mod when it comes to lighting, and I definitely recommend it even if you don't necessarily want this feature. But I thought that the realistic lighting aspect of this mod would definitely be appealing to those of you that want a little bit more of a challenge. However, if you're looking for more ways to light your path beyond torches, the mod Wearable Lanterns might be exactly what you're looking for. With this mod installed, you can buy or craft lanterns that can be equipped at your side. Most of these lanterns require oil to remain fueled, which can also be bought or crafted. Wearable Lanterns also has an additional feature if you have Campfire installed: the option to craft a makeshift lantern in the wilderness. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of torches, and the ability to have the path lit in front of me while also having two of my character's hands free is extremely helpful. This doesn't necessarily increase difficulty, but if you have ELFX installed, it might get you to travel into caves a little bit more often. Another small but very helpful mod is Art of the Catch. This underappreciated mod adds a system of fishing into the game. After crafting a fishing rod, you can use it by activating your fishing ability near bodies of water where you can see fish in them. If successful, a fish will be added to your inventory. If Art of the Catch is used in combination with iNeed, the ability to catch fish and eat them becomes especially helpful. And possibly the most impressive part of this mod is its smooth animation. Moving back towards difficulty, Scarcity is a mod that makes finding loot throughout the world a little bit more difficult. This means that stuff that you find in containers are a little bit less common. Importantly, this affects barrels and bags that would usually have many food items like apples, treats, and cabbages. The use of this mod is perfect for ramping up the difficulty of survivalism when using a mod like iNeed. It means that gathering your own food is much more of a necessity. Next on this list actually isn't a mod, it's a tweak that can be done in the console. This can be helpful if you're looking for a slower pace, or if you find managing your needs throughout the day just a little bit too involved. So, if you would like the day to move a little bit slower, you can easily tweak it in the console. The default timescale that exists within Skyrim is 20, meaning that 20 in-game minutes are equivalent to 1 minute in real life. If you'd like to slow that down quite a bit more, I would recommend setting the timescale to 6. However, do not go below this, because otherwise, setting the timescale that low can mess with the AI of the NPCs and the quests. So if you want to do this, all you have to do is press the tilde key and type set timescale to 6, or whatever number that you choose to put. And of course, this means that it's entirely limited to PCs, so sorry to all of you console folk out there. Moving back to mods, we have Perseids, Inns, and Taverns. It's an overhaul of all of the inns in Skyrim. The first thing you might notice using this mod is that it creates much more of a variance in designs of the inns across the region. But an important element of this mod in regards to survival is the increase in price at staying at an inn. This incentivizes you to build a tent while traveling or make use of your player home. What this means is that inns become much more of a luxury than just a commonality. The next mod on this list is perfect for users of Frostfall. Real Shelter fixes a simple problem with the vanilla game. With Real Shelter, instead of snow and rain phasing through the overhangs of buildings, you will actually be able to find shelter under roofs that are outside. Not only does this improve the visual realism of the game, but it also makes using Frostfall much more dynamic, giving you more options to deal with your exposure. So for instance, if you're in a chilly region and it's raining and you see an abandoned house on the side of the road, standing under it will actually decrease your exposure. So that means if you have Frostfall installed, I absolutely recommend this mod. Another weather-related mod is Wet and Cold. This mod is purely visual, but it really makes the effects in a mod like Frostfall much more believable. First off, Wet and Cold makes NPCs wear appropriate clothing depending on the weather. So that means in snowy climates, NPCs will wear fur hoods and cloaks, and in rainy climates, they'll wear cloth or leather hoods. In addition, during snow or rainstorms, NPCs that don't have an important job to do will go inside until that weather passes. In my opinion, the AI additions help add to the feel of harsh weather in the game. Another feature that is added is a dripping effect on your character when it's raining or you just walked out of a body of water. And of course, it lets you see your character's breath and NPC's breath when it's cold outside. Obviously, I highly recommend using this with Frostfall, but I pretty much recommend it for any playthrough, just because I think that the changes make AI much more believable. And lastly, before closing out this video, I have 2 mods that I recommend you keep an eye out for, both specifically geared towards survivalism. Last Seed and Hunger in the North are actually being developed by the same mod author, Chesko, who made Campfire, Frostfall, Art of the Catch, and Wearable Lanterns, all mods on this list. Both Last Seed and Hunger in the North are designed to build off of Frostfall and Campfire in terms of the survival experience in Skyrim. Last Seed is designed to be an intuitive primary need system that affects your character and can even extend to your followers. The system includes a dynamic food spoilage system, a new disease system, and many other features. As mentioned before, another interesting mod of Chesko's to keep an eye out for is called Hunger in the North. This mod is designed to make acquiring food much more difficult depending on several factors. In fact, it introduces an event system that will increase or decrease the amount of food available in different locations depending on the event. For example, high bandit activity around Whiterun could lead to food shortages in the city, as could a long winter season, or even a blight could create a big scarcity in particular crops. All of these changes are going to affect vendors and your own ability to acquire resources. Chesko is known to make some of the very best mods that exist for Skyrim, so although neither of these mods are released yet, I highly encourage you to keep an eye out for them when they are eventually released. I wanted to mention them because I didn't feel like that this was going to be comprehensive enough if for whatever reason those mods come out in the next several months. And that will do it for this video. If you enjoy any of the mods mentioned, make sure to endorse them on their mod pages. And if you're looking for more Skyrim mod compilations, you can check out one that I did on trying to make the combat a little bit more realistic in Skyrim. Or you can check out what I think are some of the very best mods ever made for Skyrim. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.